Damn it. Well, welcome back, my friends, and happy Easter. Happy Easter to each and every one of you. If you celebrate it, happy Easter. If you don't, happy Sunday. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. Listen, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, an Soc Journeyman rendition. First Hawkbill we've ever had on the channel rendition, if you will. This is the Soc Journeyman in M390. Now, Donnie B. All Day did a review of this. Brandon Thrasher sent a bunch of knives to Donnie. Donnie did reviews, then sent them to me. I will link Donnie's review of it in the description. I've got to stop and just take a moment, man, to say thank you to Brandon Thrasher. Thrasher's Garage. If you're not subscribed, I don't know what the hell you're waiting on. Brandon is an awesome guy in the community and just an awesome brother in the blade. I've had these knives far too long, but Brandon has been kind and he has been patient. This is the final knife of this batch. They are boxed up by the time you're seeing this, and we will get them in the post office or to the post office tomorrow. So thank you and shout out to Thrasher's Garage. Thank you and shout out to Donnie B. All Day. Love those guys. Listen, this is the first Hawkbill I've ever had on the channel. So, going to give you some different looks at it, kind of an interesting perspective there, just showing you compared to the Billy Waugh for size comparison. Again, rest in peace, Billy. Awesome dude, awesome patriot, and a hell of a man. This is the Southern Grind Bad Monkey. Just give you some different ideas. This is not a small knife, not a huge knife, not a jumbo knife. It's got pretty good action to it. It is a frame lock. It's has a flipper tab on the back. Now, I don't know if you would consider this deep carry. Y'all tell me. I mean, it's right there at it. It's only a little bit sticking up. But again, there you go, Scab. Whip it around there, son. You do you, boo. The thing is this. Let's look again. Oh, Vanna White. It is a frame lock. I am a fan of frame locks. Now, I can't remember. I think Donnie had a little bit of trouble opening this one. I'll say this, with frame locks, there are certain frame locks, if you put just a touch of pressure on that thing, it makes it difficult to open. But then again, Donnie has double gigantic gargantuan hands. He really does. I have a true, probably extra large maul of my hand, and fingers are probably large. So when it comes to hand size, this knife fits me pretty damn good, to be honest with you. Comfortable in hand. It is M390. I want to say the handle scales are titanium. I may be wrong in that, but they're textured. overall, guys, I just love the damn knife, but I love blades. And that's something to remember. The Hawkbill makes slicing a dream. And it's just a dope looking knife. It really is. It has a good working choil. Let me give you a few specs. I didn't take many, but again, Donnie did a great job on the review. Brandon's got a review, and those guys have plenty of specs if you want to check them out. I didn't do many throws. There wasn't no need to. This isn't a thrower. It's not a stabber. It's a Hawkbill, typically associated with an electrician's knife. You see we gave it hell up front with the apple. I will say this. The heat treat on this knife seems to be spot on. We cut a lot of different things. Now, D-Bad in his video said, the scab's going to cut that ratchet strap, and he's going to tell you it can cut. It can cut. He was right on that. Finding the right sweet spot is one of the joys of doing these reviews. Here's what I got, guys. The blade stock is 1/8 inch thick. The blade length is 3 1/4. Now, I did that from the tip straight down to where it comes out of the handle. The cutting edge is a true 3 inches. Probably not a true because you have that curve in it. Overall length is 7 7/8. The handle is 4 5/8. Couple things on the handle. I said it has a good working choil, and it does. Everything seems to be rounded off. The handle has kind of like that Rocky Mountain tread type, but everything's rounded and smooth. I didn't find any hot spots in the handle. Overall, the blade came in sharp, and I know it came straight from Donnie. I'm not sure if he stropped it or did anything to it, but it came with a pretty good edge. This one was just fun, man. I always start off these things and I'm like, well, I'm going to keep it about 10 minutes. And then the next thing you know, I've got so much footage. I think we did like 14 minutes on this one, so a couple hours. Watch this right here. I'm going to shut up for a second. Let's just watch this together. I don't know why that particular cut, or that, I don't even know what the hell you call what I'm doing there. I don't know why, but that intrigued the shit out of me. I was able to strip that piece of wood down pretty quickly. I think the thing is, guys, if you just want the truth of it, when it comes to me and knives, I love learning to use the knife. And that's what we're doing now. I mentioned this was an electrician's knife. So we found some different wire to strip and things like that. Did a pretty damn good job with it, I'd say. Easy to use, easy to hold. Really, really, really nice handle. To me, and I've already boxed it up, getting it ready to ship back. But I actually carried this knife. I was off Friday and Saturday. And I carried it both days. I found it comfortable in the pocket. And honestly, I found it pretty damn handy. I found some unique uses for it. Played with it a little bit. Set some other videos up with it a little bit. Did some pre-cutting with it. It held up insanely well. When you see these videos, guys, a 15, 20-minute video, for me, that's 3-4 hours worth of work, trying to get it done, so that's a lot of wear and tear on a knife. Now, on the cusp of it, you'll say, well, Scab, 3 or 4 hours isn't a lot. 3 or 4 hours of continual use on a knife is a lot, actually. It's not more than anybody else. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm telling you is that by the time I do one of these videos, there is a ton, and I mean a ton, of cutting that goes into it. I've mentioned it several times. It didn't happen this video, but it has happened where I've shot entire segments and didn't get a damn thing on camera, and then you reshoot. So there's a lot that goes in, or at least for me. And then I try to find some materials and some mediums. Some I try to find that are very, very easy to cut. I'll be the first to tell you that. Why? Well, because sometimes you just find easy shit to cut. I mean, sometimes you need to cut string. Sometimes you need to shave a twig, do whatever. You know what I'm saying. Sometimes you need to peel an apple. Easy things to cut. And then sometimes when you're at work or you're in a camp or a woodsy environment, you find more difficult things, more difficult tasks. Now, you've seen that it went right straight through that wire. Cut it. We were able to shave the wire back and then cut it. No damage to the edge, none whatsoever. Now, again, is that 10 gauge wire? No. But it will, little bits of metal and shit like that will wreck an edge. It just will. I always like slicing the denim. Denim's a tougher medium to cut. It's not hard to stab and it's not hard to rip, but to get some true cuts on it sometimes can be a little bit of a challenge if your knife isn't sharp. This knife's sharp. This knife held an edge. Overall, I like it. I like it a lot. There's a little emblem in the blade. You see the cutout there, the flash. That's a matter of preference. I think it adds to this knife. I think the color scheme, honestly, I like the dark colors on this knife. It's got some really good jimping on the back of that blade. Now, in all fairness, guys, I use my hands every day at work. I sandblast, I powder coat, we load trucks, we do all kind of, y'all know, you work. You're all working men and women. And you know what that does to your hands. So I've seen people go, well, this jimping's a little harsh. This, in my experience, and I'm not knocking anybody, I'm just saying, after 35 years of working on the books and most of it being manual labor, I do have tougher hands. So for me, while the jimping looks aggressive, it's very, very comfortable in hand. This thing's a wicked slasher, dude. I mean, a wicked, wicked freaking slasher. And it's fun to play with. Overall thoughts. We got about a minute and a half left. Would I carry it daily? You know what? Yeah, I really would. Now, it's new and it's different. For me, some of you may carry a Hawkbill. I know Captain Electro loves Hawkbills. For me, this was a different experience, so I loved it. Would I carry it? Yes. I found that it came in very, very handy with working with wire. I found that it came handy on a lot of the materials. I boxed up a lot of stuff. Sarah Bell, Megatron's sister, is coming next weekend for a visit, so we're cleaning up, we're boxing, we're doing a lot of boxing up, a lot of taping. I use this knife for a lot of it. Nothing hard use. Nothing hard. One, it's not my knife, but I didn't do a lot of hard use, but I did a lot of consistent use outside of just doing the demonstrations. You know what? It felt good in hand. Right here, it held an edge pretty good. Now I stropped it up really good before I sent it back. Held an edge really, really well. So to come off two pretty good reviews. Donnie did a great job. He cuts a lot, I cut a lot. So you got a lot of cutting done on this knife. So for it to hold up, wore it down a little bit, but I stropped it up and brought it right back. Excellent knife. Take the last few seconds of this video. Brandon, brother, I love you. I mean that. I appreciate you. I mean that. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me. Thank you for what you've done for this community. Guys, again, rest in peace, Matt Pearson. We lost a great one. Remember him this week and his family in your prayers. I'm Scab. You're not. And I'm gone, son.